Well, thanks everyone for the great cards and letters that we're getting, and we're getting a lot of them very early on in this process, including email, of course. This latest card comes from Jim Shank of North Pole, New York. And Jim writes, I'm very interested to know about your Adirondack Living Show. What sort of things will I see there? Well, that all depends on whether you've been a good boy or not, Jim. Just kidding. But the Adirondack Living Show is a celebration of camps, Adirondack art, and rustic living. There's over 160 exhibits, thousands of products and services. And the best way that I can describe this to you is to share it with you. So come along on a little journey and meet some of the fine vendors that you'll see at the upcoming Adirondack Living Show right here on Adirondack Living TV.
Hi, I'm Gary Casagrains, and we run Casagrains Studio and Gallery in Tupper Lake, New York. And this is an example of some of the things that I do here at the gallery. There's an interesting piece over here. This is under the crescent moon. You see the crescent moon right here. It's kind of an interesting piece because it has original drawings on the outside. In the center is a giclée print. Interesting frame. I think the whole thing works together as a unit. Some of these pieces are giclée prints on canvas. This one's done on canvas, which is enhanced. It has strokes that are applied afterwards, so it gives the appearance of having a real original oil painting. This one has a lot of variety in it. It's one of my favorites, actually. It has a lot of rhythm going on. There's harmony here. You have the thick and the thin, the hard and soft, and direction and rhythm. There's a lot going on with this piece. This is a Horseshoe Lake, which is not too far from where I live. It's a landscape. It has a lot of dramatic lighting. We see the rays coming down from the sky. It's framed with yellow birch here. My wife does all the framing. I design frames and she builds them. It's quite a nice combination, I think. Very nice piece. This piece here, Lingering Light, is one of my favorites. The pose of the moose is very nice. It's a peaceful scene. The moose are starting to come back into the Adirondacks. And this is another view of Lowe's Ridge, just another viewpoint, so to speak. Usually I go there and take photographs and sketch it on location, take notes about what's there, what's the environment, what type of trees, what kind of conditions. And then I take all the material into the studio and come up with the piece there. You know, it's hard to deal with the wind, the sun, the bugs, and everything else. So if you can just get enough information and paint a few sketches there, and then you can work at your leisure in the studio.
I'm Bob from High Beams. I'm Sutton, Vermont, and we do lighting. And come on in the booth and we'll look around here. We do custom one-of-a-kind pieces made out of copper and brass. We have mica shades with botanicals on them. This is the mica shade. This is the natural mica with raspberries on here. These are raspberry leaves. And here, so this is the, we have amber mica. You know, it's a pretty natural product because it's mostly copper and brass. We use a lot of, mica, botanicals. It's just fun stuff to do. We just do mostly, one-of-a-kind custom pieces, so we don't like to do the same thing over and over again. So we go into people's houses, they're doing a new house or something, and we'll go in and design all the lamps for them. First we'll go out and we'll do all the drawings, talk it over with the client, see if they like it or not. Then we go back to the shop and we create it for them. So we've been doing lighting for about 26 years now.
My name is Steve Joslin. I'm a blacksmith. I do custom wrought ironwork, and I specialize in lighting. I also do a lot of architectural ironwork and fireplace accessories and so on and so forth. I have a rather unique product line. My background is actually in fine art, and I've got a Bachelor of Fine Art degree from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and I majored in metalsmithing. I was going to be a jeweler. So my senior year I worked with a graduate student who had a blacksmith's forge, and I absolutely took to it like a like a duck to water. Fell in love with it, stopped doing the jewelry work, and focused on working hot steel. That was back in the early 80s, and I've been doing this ever since. And I think a lot of the attention to detail and design in my work relates back to that early jewelry experience where you're working quite small and you're paying close attention to a lot of the finer details. It's been 20 plus years now that I've been doing this, so I have a passion for it, which still inspires me. I'm very inspired by nature, as you can see from the designs. This is a wall sconce. It has a combination of white pine, pine cone, and white oak. It has mica shades, and I developed the pine cone about 5 or 6 years ago. And I just started simply by walking in the woods and picking up the pine cone. I realized that it's just an amazingly beautiful form in its own right, and I thought maybe there's a way to replicate this in steel. So it took about a year of trial and error to get the right shape and the right proportions. This actually has 3 different sizes of what I call chips, from small to medium to large. My greatest joy is when I can watch someone start from a few feet away and then come in close and really begin to take a close look, because it's that detail for me that is very, very important in the overall design.
If you have any program suggestions or topics for Adirondack Living TV, we'd love to hear from you. Simply email us at info@adirondackLiving.com.